From the stage to the screen, despite the esports industry being worth over $1 billion, companies and organizations are struggling to afford the cost of running an esports team. Our very own esports reporter Nathaniel Cunningham is here to tell us about the first ever esports winter. Nathaniel, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Love having you here. And I have to ask you, a couple weeks ago you were saying how big the esports world is, but can you give us a little bit of the inside of the industry and what's going down right now?
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand these headlines. They're not telling the whole truth, right? This is more of a winter, like you described. This is just kind of a stagnant point in the industry. They're not going down. It's not a true downfall. The esports industry is worth over $1 billion. There's a whole lot there. It just is not in nearly as big of a boom as it was just a couple of years ago. Its growth rate early, pre-pandemic, we can call it, was around 30%. And then during the pandemic, it increased up to 60%. So now just because that growth rate is underneath about 15%, people are like, oh no, esports is dying. It's not dying. It still needs it's a lot of credit.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for us. And how is this affecting the actual people in the industry?
Yeah, it's important to realize that there is an effect for the actual people. You're talking about a whole bunch of people that have been laid off. 20% of companies and the employees there are being laid off, and a big part of that is due to the pandemic. So, but you can also, and I think it's more important to see that it affects the actual players, the people that are there. And you can just take a listen. There was a professional esports player. His name's Jason Doty. At 16 years old, he was thought to have been the best Rainbow Six Siege player in the country. Then he retired at 21. So he kind of he put it into words, and just take a listen to what he had to say regarding the whole thing.
Let's do that.
I had a bad stage following up SI 2022, and that's when it really even hit me too. Like maybe I should just call it quits.
You can kind of see there that he's just like, this pressure. It's a lot of pressure on these guys, especially at a young age, and to go out there and do that, they kind of had to get it up.
Well, thank you for breaking that down and joining us here tonight.